Oh,
Yes.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Doug.
So you came up from
Chino Hills.
Chino Hills just to be in this movie.
Just to be in this movie. And to
And
be
to
up
have
here.
some wine.
What were your first impressions when you read the story in terms of the characters, what you could do with them?
As far as the characters go? You want to start?
Sure. Well, having read the screenplay first before reading the short story, well, the mood strikes you particularly, that sort of, as you were talking about over lunch, that sense of pace and sort of airiness strikes you there, the mystery of it. What is going on between them that is not on the page?
Yeah.
What is the motivation to get the slow glass, to come up here, to get away? Which, reading the story, then I get a lot more of that from that. As an actor, is helpful. But even then, still intriguing, because it's never really discussed about, even in the short story, why the slow glass is intriguing to Garland.
Well, Garland is a poet, being in touch with the inner child and the wonder and awe of seeing these things. And then a kind of knowingness that this may be the key to fixing things in the marriage, and making some kind of turnaround almost intuitively happen. Or
I feel like my character is completely against that, dragged along basically, wanting to remain angry about it, how people they want to hold on to that anger, like you were saying. They don't want to move forward because they're more comfortable with just being upset.
So what the hell are you doing here?
be more subtle.
I'm slicing the onions a little bit thin to make a little garnish that's edible garnish for the salmon steaks for the actors.
And what do we get?
Yeah, steak, baby. They eat that
The boogie woogie stylings of Raisin.
Oh, tickle those onions.
That was wrecked for a very long time. I'm
You're
just
having scaling fences next door, and you guys are going to have to do
I don't know
that.
what they were thinking. I don't know what they were thinking. Well, the funny thing is my little old Jewish doctor calls me to his office. You know, we're having our post-operative discussion and chat, you know what I mean? And next thing you know, he's beaming, looking at my stitches and whatnot. He runs out the door is wide open. All the people are seeing me buck naked in my Johnny. And he runs down to get his partner, who assisted with the surgery, and brings me back in. Look, isn't that the best thing you've ever seen? That's my concern. That's why I don't want to put anything outside or touch the structure in any way if I don't have to, you know. And we're gonna use one of John's windows to double and just stay inside that size of frame and replicate the distance to lens and height from the ground and all of that stuff.
This project initially appealed to me because it's a dramatic vehicle. It's about emotion with a strong humanity. The 3D effects, which are visible not just in the cinematography itself, but in the slow glass panels, are subtle in that they reinforce the story. They complete the story in a very interesting way.
I like the idea that the slow glass in a 2D movie, it'll work, but in a 3D movie, the slow glass is going to be more real. And because you look into this and it's like looking through a window. It's not like looking at a glass. It's not like looking at a picture. It's like looking at a window, looking actually through a window. Well, the only way you can look through a window is in 3D.
So for the purposes of this piece, let us pretend that the car is here. Doug and Nicole will enter into the space and be looking around. Imagine in your mind, if you will, after lunch there will be all these little blue panes around. So you're looking, right? When Ray was first attempting a short film with the club, he was trying to do everything by himself. Well, it seems to me that the best thing I could do is offer Ray my help to help him keep things organized. So the goal was to be able to make it so that I could work as an intermediary to go running around and telling people what Ray needed when Ray didn't have the time to talk to everybody directly himself. Let's go up and see what there is, Ray.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to do,
You seem real pro at it. Have you done that before?
I've produced and directed a number of educational films and then moved into the union film world, and I've been trucking around on big jobs a lot. So even though I haven't been in charge, I've been able to watch some of the best people in the world do it, and I learned a lot from them. And have you turn and reveal John on the porch. So John, that's going to be you on the porch.
This is John Hart, who is our SCSC 3D movie division director. He is required in slow glass to really convey a range of emotions and some heartbreakingly genuine revelations. What are your thoughts individually? What are your thoughts about the two readings that we've done so far?
I agree to find some texture, find some variance. I'm eager to do it again.
Well, the
Yeah,
table
first one I was
reading
definitely going for
was good preparation for
You know,
the taping that would be done the next day. When you say the pleasure was mine, it says with formality.
right.
That could almost be very grave, or some kind of reading that conveys. I think it was particularly helpful to John Hart, who has had considerable less acting experience than Doug and Nicole. You somehow, when you say that, the recognition of this quantum change should be in your voice.
It's easily done.
You're saving the show, Cassie.
Yeah, you are.
I have no idea.
Don't you love it, Cassie? One of the reasons I wanted to do slow glass when they asked for volunteers, and Ray said, well, yeah, how should we do it? You want to do it with the Toshiba? You want to do it with the New View? I didn't want to do it with any of those. Instead, I decided I want to do it with this. And this was my new rig. It's the JVC HD. It's actually, one is an HD10, one's an HD1, but they're virtually the same camera. Just to block that white hot thing on her neck. Any consumer camera is not the camera to shoot the story film with, except that it is, because it got it done. And there's all these movies that are made with DV cameras and all that. But, you know, what you want is a camera that has a focus ring that locks where you want it, and it's got a zoom that tells you where you want to be. But, you know, it's not the camera that shoots the show, it's the cameraman. So, you know, you can, if you know what the limitations are, you work around them, and you can come out okay.
Check you out. Now you're officially a grip.
So,
Please, money.
and why don't we not do the stop thing, because that's just a headache.
No,
We
no,
got
no,
it.
we're, that's.
Two other shots.
We got our setup on our flags and cards.
What do you think? Want to try it with this dog? C2, A tick 2, marker.
Action.
That's fine. Let's go and see what there is.
Stuff might be reasonably priced up here. Come on. Exercise might do us some good. We've been driving for long years.
Cut. Action.
Blue screen matte photography, normally carried out under carefully controlled studio conditions, create a lot of problems when shot under the capricious lighting conditions found in nature. The special effects needed for slow glass were done by 3 geniuses and 1 smart guy. First, Brian Gardner, who took many of the most problematic blue screen shots and made flawlessly perfect 3D slow glass panels. For the critically important slow glass that casts its spell on Hagen, he used a 3D winter still shot
and added falling snow and frost on the glass. Second, Bernard Mendelburu, who created the opening title, which echoes the look, mood, and tone of the film.
Here's your check.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to do business with you.
When the plan to keep
Pleasure
things
was mine.
simple by not having camera moves on the slow glass panels went afoul by the urgency of production, Bernard stepped up and solved that problem handily.
Pleasure was mine.
Mr. Garland.
Third, Sean Israelite, who created the grand SCSC Movie Division logo and many of the slow glass panels. He also solved another problem with special effects that was not originally planned. Because the crew did not have access to the interior of the cabin, scenes of Hagen's wife and child inside had to be done as effects shots. In many ways, this is the most difficult kind of special effect, one with no spectacular elements, which must be accepted as simple photography without question.
That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay.
Ray Zone, ladies and gentlemen. John Christopher, soundman extraordinaire. Our hero, Garland.
Yes.
Our heroine, Selena.
Yes.
Oh, you guys are terrible. We loved her. She was great.
What are we leaving in the car here by
That's
accident?
a great question. I have a leftover half a sandwich. I thought about.
You've had it for 2 days.